New studies are showing that over 93% of the US population is metabolically unhealthy. But what even is metabolic health? Metabolic health describes how well our body uses and produces energy. Every one of the trillions of cells in our bodies is like a little power plant that converts fuel, usually glucose or fat, into an energy source the body can use, typically ATP and water. When our cells struggle to do this efficiently, it means that our cells and organs are not getting the energy they need to do their jobs. This can lead to all sorts of conditions depending on which cells and organs are struggling. I'm Dani Hamilton, a holistic nutritionist and blood sugar specialist. In the brain, poor metabolic health can lead to things like brain fog, anxiety, depression, and even Alzheimer's. In the blood vessels, it can contribute to microvascular disease like kidney issues or even erectile dysfunction. It can also lead to cardiovascular disease like strokes and heart attacks. In the liver, it can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. It can also, in other cells, lead to things like cancer. Metabolic dysfunction can also lead to weight gain, weight loss resistance, and obesity because it interferes with our body's fat storage and burning capabilities. In simple terms, high insulin levels tell our body to store fat and stop burning fat. Data from a 1999 to 2018 study showed that only 1 in 14 people showed optimal levels of all 5 metabolic risk factors. The same data showed that only about 37% of adults had fasting blood sugar levels under 100, which is typically the cutoff for pre-diabetes. However, functional ranges for optimal glucose levels are between 72 and 85. I believe that a portion of that same 37% are actually pre-diabetic. Something important that I learned is that you don't have to have pre-diabetes or diabetes for there to already be signs and symptoms of metabolic issues. Pre-diabetes and diabetes take decades to develop, and there's so many symptoms and issues that can show up before you ever get that diagnosis. Having pre-diabetes doesn't mean you're pre-sick. It already means there's issues brewing. I wasn't diabetic and I had so many issues like weight loss resistance, PCOS, I had PMS, acne, and so many other issues like really intense sugar cravings. One of the most direct measures we have for metabolic health is measuring our blood sugar. And that's because our blood sugar constitutes so much of the fuel that our body needs. We also can look at insulin levels, which is a hormone that helps our body take in glucose. It helps get the sugar out of the blood and into the cells so that it can be used to actually make energy. Consistently high blood sugar and impaired insulin function, also known as insulin resistance, are behind most of the conditions that come with poor metabolic health, like prediabetes and diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is advanced insulin resistance, where the body has become so insulin resistant that the blood sugar starts climbing dangerously high. This causes damage to so many cells of the body, including our blood vessels as well as muscle tissue. More than 10% of people in the US have diabetes, but 21% of that is undiagnosed. More and more children below the age of 18 are also starting to be diagnosed with this condition. More than a third of US adults have prediabetes, but 84% of those people don't know they have it. Remember, prediabetes doesn't mean pre-having a condition. It already means there's issues, and it really already increases your risk factors for things like heart attack, stroke, and Alzheimer's. All this information is not to scare you, but it's to empower you because all of these things like insulin resistance and even type 2 diabetes are completely preventable and reversible. Next week, I'm going to be sharing more information about how we can lower our insulin levels so we can improve our blood sugar, burn fat, feel more energized, and so much more. Let me know below if you are someone who struggles with any of these issues, and make sure you click that subscribe button so you never miss a video.